Hello guys, welcome back. In the last video, we talked about what we mean by the purpose and meaning of life. Guys, we are not going to discuss individual purpose and meaning of life in this course. Those individual purpose and meaning of life are based on individual and are subjective. We are though interested in finding the objective purpose and meaning of life for human species. That is, we are going to find an objective definition of the purpose of life. You may ask that why do we need ground rules in finding the purpose of life? Many times people say that we should not discuss politics and religion. The reason people feel that we should not discuss politics and religion is because people already have very strong political and religious viewpoints. And discussing these viewpoints may lead to fights and arguments. Unfortunately, the purpose of life and meaning of life also falls in the same category. What I mean by that is that people already have very strong opinions about how they should lead their life. These opinions comes from a variety of sources. One is family. In some family, there is a viewpoint that one should do what interests them. And that is the best way to lead a life. I am not saying that this viewpoint is right or wrong, but personally, I do not have deep interest in any subject that I can spend my life doing an interesting work. I do not know what my calling is, and I know that I am not the only one who do not know what interests me. Most people do not know what their calling is too. If you already know your calling, probably you won't be watching this video. Another source of opinion comes from religious background. If you are deeply religious, you may believe that what your religion is telling you is the best way to lead your life. If that is working for you, that is fine. Guys, discussing about the purpose of life is very touchy subject. I have no business of telling you how you should lead your life. However, there is another way to look at discussing the purpose of life. That is an open discussion. I present my viewpoint and you can either agree or you can think about my viewpoint. It is just a suggestion and no way it is an imposition. See folks, discussing the purpose of life for human being is a touchy subject and thus I want to establish these ground rules. Guys, second point, I do not know what your background is. You all come from different background. If you are coming from religious background or other background and what I'm presenting is not acceptable to you, do not take it personally. I have no interest in offending your religious viewpoint. I am not here to hurt your feelings. That is not this course is about. It is an open discussion about the exploring the purpose of life together. Additionally, guys, I want to thank you for you spending time listening to my presentation, and I do not want to hurt your feelings in any shape or form. What we discuss, guys, is the first part of the ground rule. Let's talk about how we are going to find the purpose of human life. Guys, that is, are we going to talk about dogma or religious viewpoints? No, we cannot discuss dogma because different religions have different dogmas and they are not based on reason. Also, we are not going to discuss religious beliefs. Our discussion will be based on reason and science. However, we are going to believe authority of science in discussion of the purpose of life, specifically the authority of neuroscience. We are not going to prove everything that neuroscientists claim to be true. For an example, neuroscientists tells us that our brain is made up of neurons and it is an established fact, and we are not going to question these claims. However, there are holes in neuroscientists' claims that we will certainly investigate. Additionally, we will look at philosophical viewpoints too, and will investigate questionable claims by philosopher community also. Our discussion will be based on evidence and reason, and it will be science based. Guys, I want to make one last thing before we end this video. If you have noticed it, English is not my first language, and my pronunciations are probably hard for you to understand. But guys, I'm trying my best. I'm planning to put caption in each of the slide so that you can follow what I'm saying easily. Guys, in the next video, we are going to talk about our approach in finding the purpose of life. Guys, thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next video.